I've had a student who I had in 9th grade and 11th grade. I worked with her in summer programs. I can tell you all about her family and all of this information. And as she was getting done, and of course we're still virtual, as she was getting ready to do her last round of applications for her senior year, it asked me for a recommendation. I was helping her with some financial streams, and she mentioned, I can't do those. I'm undocumented. And I'm trying to figure out a way to have that conversation early in a way that is respectful and safe, because I could have helped her sooner. She's kind of backed herself into the corner, and I'm going to keep talking to her about your story is exactly what I needed to hear. You can start here, but you shouldn't be ending here, because you're way too much going for you to stay in these little colleges in Iowa. And I went to one that she's applying to, so I can say from experience. But I'm wondering, what are ways to have that conversation and identify kids that really need that help without making them feel at risk, making them feel like I am singling them out. I don't know. And so I guess kind of a personal question.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you that, like, most of us who grew up undocumented haven't even had to face that ourselves. I told you, I found out like late junior year that I was undocumented. And so I couldn't have even really articulated that to a teacher in 9th grade who may have made that open. But you certainly can obviously always share that. Anybody who shares with you this is a safe space, right? Your classroom, your office, et cetera, is a safe space. And if anyone shares that, and I think explicitly stating, if any of my students, or when any of my students have shared that they are undocumented or that their family is mixed status, that is something that I will never share with anyone, because if you explicitly say that is the thing that you can come to me with and I won't share it, then people will be like, oh, that's what she meant. Okay, she gets it. Like, I'm not gonna feel at fear of deportation. So stating it as early as possible, as publicly as possible, and saying that it's confidential if you ever find that out, I think is extremely important. And then I think it's okay to encourage students to say, hey, like, we know that in our community, we have a lot of community members that are undocumented or DACA or TPS or, mixed status. And there are specific programs that can help students in this situation. So posing it as like a positive thing from early on and saying like, people have realized that this is a barrier to college and therefore have created the dream.us at a national level. Or, as you all are probably aware, students can do the opportunity scholarship with the College Board and they can receive it as undocumented students. And so sharing the fact that there are specific programs created for them that you can share, and then sharing widely, right? I think we've run into this with the policy that I passed, and now we're in the final stages of a draft that we're going to distribute to all students, and we're sharing with CAP counselors ways to do it. And for us, it's about publishing it in the most public way possible, so no one has to self-disclose to get the information, but sharing upfront that if you want to self-disclose, it is completely safe, and we can actually give you even more personalized attention to meet your needs. Because also within that category of student, there are so many different situations. I like to think that I'm familiar with it. And every now and then I get a student who's like, so this is my case. I'm working with one right now, which I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin, but we're asking the right questions and working together. But yeah, I hope that's a little helpful.